You are not holding a high standard. You are holding a weapon against yourself. And because it looks intense, you keep calling it discipline. You miss a day, and the voice starts. You are lazy. You always do this. You are behind. You should be further. You wasted the chance. Then you sit in the ash and mistake the pain for proof that you care. But shame is not proof of standards. Shame is heat with no shape. It burns energy. It does not build the blade. A real standard does not humiliate you for being unfinished. A real standard tells you what to do next. That is the difference. And if you cannot tell the difference, you will keep punishing yourself and wondering why your execution keeps getting weaker. You know this cycle. You set a target. You feel clean for a moment. The room gets quiet. The notebook opens. The future feels close again. Then the first miss happens. Not a disaster. Just a miss. One skipped workout. One post left in drafts. One messy morning. One offer you did not send. One habit broken before it had root. And instead of returning to the work, you return to the trial. You start prosecuting yourself. You gather evidence from every old version of you. You bring up every restart, every delay, every promise that collapsed, every private moment where you said, "This time is different," then quietly went back to the old pattern. You think this is accountability. But accountability faces the truth and moves. Shame faces the truth and freezes. That is why the cycle feels so exhausting. You are not just rebuilding the habit. You are rebuilding while dragging a courtroom behind you. Every step has to prove you are not weak. Every small task has to redeem your identity. Every ordinary day becomes a judgment day. No wonder you avoid the work. You made the work emotionally expensive. And the private builder cannot afford to make the work expensive. The few do not become different because they never miss. They become different because they know how to return without turning the return into a punishment ritual. In the forge, the hammer has a purpose. It is not there to insult the steel. It is not there to scream at the metal for still being rough. It is not there to prove the blacksmith is angry enough. The hammer shapes. That is all. Heat softens. Pressure directs. Repetition refines. But none of it is personal. The steel is not ashamed because it needs another strike. The blade is not embarrassed because it is not sharp yet. The unfinished state is part of the process. This is where shame lies to you. Shame tells you that being unfinished is a moral failure. Standards tell you that being unfinished is a work order. Those are not the same. One says, "What is wrong with you?" The other says, "This is the next clean requirement." One makes your identity smaller. The other makes your behavior clearer. One attacks the person. The other corrects the process. The private builder needs correction. You need feedback. You need honest measurements. You need the mirror. You need to know when the work is weak, when the calendar is fake, when the offer is vague, when the body is being neglected, when the room is training you into the old identity. But the mirror is not supposed to become a knife. A standard sounds like this. I said I would write for 30 minutes, so I will write for 30 minutes before the day closes. Shame sounds like this. I cannot believe I am still the kind of person who avoids writing. A standard says the post is due by 6. Shame says real builders would not struggle with this. A standard says clean the desk and start the first task. Shame says look at your life, you are not serious. Hear the difference. One gives an instruction. The other creates fog. And fog feels deep when you are tired. That is why you have to stop respecting every painful thought as if pain makes it true. Some pain is information. Some pain is old wiring. Some pain is the ash from a version of you that only knew how to change by hating itself first. But you are not here to hate yourself into a dream life. You are here to build a self that can carry it. So make the distinction practical. Today, choose one area where you keep using shame as a fake standard. Not 5 areas. 1. Your body. Your content. Your money. Your offer. Your sleep. Your room. Calendar. Pick the one that keeps pulling you into the same private argument. Then write the shame sentence exactly as it appears in your head. Do not make it poetic. Do not make it noble. Write the raw sentence. I am late. I always fall off. I am wasting my potential. I am behind everyone. I do not have discipline. Now look at it like a blacksmith, not like a defendant. Ask one question. What instruction is hidden inside this sentence? If the same says, I am lazy, the standard might be, I start the first task before checking my phone. The same says, I always fall off, the standard might be, I never miss the restart window. I return within 24 hours. If the same says, I am wasting my potential, the standard might be, I ship one visible piece of work before the day ends. If the same says, I am behind everyone, the standard might be, I measure today against my own kept promise, not someone else's highlight. This is how you turn punishment into pressure. Pressure can shape you. Punishment just makes you hide. Then act immediately. Not tomorrow. Not after the next reset. Not after you build a perfect routine. Take the standard sentence and obey it once before the day ends. One clean action. One kept rule. One return without theater. That is how trust comes back. Not from screaming at yourself. From proving that correction can be calm. This is the ash room lesson. You do not rebuild by making the ashes sacred. You rebuild by finding the piece of steel that survived the fire and giving it a clean strike. So here is the vow. I will not confuse self-attack with standards. I will not call shame discipline just because it feels severe. I will let the mirror show me the truth without letting it become a blade. When I miss, I will return to the work. When I fall behind, I will choose the next clean rule. When the old voice tries to turn correction into punishment, I will answer with action. No shame. Clean standard. Strike. Today, replace one sentence that weakens you with one rule that builds you. Then keep the rule before the day ends. The hammer shapes the steel. It does not hate the steel. Neither should you.